Today we're going to rank every MLB team's swing-off trio. We saw a very first swing-off at the All-Star game this year, but if you didn't see it, here are the rules. Each team gets 3 hitters, each of whom gets 3 swings. Whoever hits more home runs wins the game. So today we're going to pick every team's 3 guys, and then we're going to rank them. Before we get started, 2 quick rules. Number 1, this is post-trade deadline roster, so I'm really sorry, Twins fans. And number 2, to make it more fun, I'm going to include injured players. So as long as the player is not out for the year, they are going to be in the mix for the team, even if they are currently injured. So without further ado, let's get started, and we're going to start out west in the AL, and we're going to start with everybody's favorite team, the Houston Astros. And for me, there's a very easy number 1 pick for that team, and that's Yordan Alvarez. I know he's been injured for most of the year. This guy just hits 30 bombs every single year. He's an absolute stud. If you remember, he hit that go-ahead home run in the World Series. He's a home run machine. He is a lock for this team. And I also really like another guy on the Astros, Isaac Paredes. This guy hits the ball so hard. He's always good for at least 20 home runs. He's got a ton of power in that bat. I would love to see him in a swing off. And then number 3 is a little tricky. So we've got some names here for sure. We've got Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, Christian Walker, Gainer Diaz, Jesus Sanchez. And this is tough, but with the 3rd spot, I'm going to go with Christian Walker. I know he's having a little bit of a down year, but I like having veterans in this competition. And Walker has hit over 25 home runs in his last 5 seasons, which is really, really good. So our official trio here is Walker, Paredes, and Alvarez. This is a good group. This is definitely above average. I'm sort of on that fence between B and A. I'm going to stay a little stingy here, and I'm going to go B tier because Walker and Paredes, I don't exactly know how they do, but this is a solid group. Next up, we have the Athletics, and this is a very young team, but there's actually a lot of good home run hitters on this team. So first of all, they have one guy who's maybe one of the most qualified guys in baseball, and that's Brent Rooker. He participated in the swing off, and he got 2 home runs on 3 swings, which is super impressive. So he's a lock for any team. With the 2nd spot, I'm going to go with Tyler Soderstrom. This guy is an awesome power hitter. He had 3 multi-home run games early in the season, so we know he can go on those crazy power binges. I love this guy's swing. It's very visceral. And then in the last spot, we got to go with Nick Kurtz. I mean, this guy had 23 home runs in just 70 games. He's going absolutely bananas. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up that pace, but when he's swinging the bat this well, he absolutely has to be in this competition. So there's your trio. It's Rooker, Soderstrom, and Kurtz. There's a lot of upside, a lot of unknown talent in this group. It's definitely solid, though. I'm going to go with C because there's great raw power, but we don't exactly know what we're getting, but this is a solid trio. Next up, we're going with the Texas Rangers, and there's not a lot of true like home run hitters, but there's a lot of guys who solidly hit like 20 or 30 homers in a season. And Exhibit A is their captain, that is Corey Seager. We can see from his last 3 years, 30 home runs in the last 3 years is really good. He's also your best player. He's just a guy that you've got to play in this competition. With that 2nd spot, I'm going to go with Adolis Garcia. He's a little bit washed right now, but if you remember that playoff run, he was white hot and he's hit some huge home runs. Just 2 years ago, he hit 39 home runs. He's also still hitting the ball very hard, so I still feel good about having Adolis Garcia in this competition. And then we've got some okay options with that 3rd spot. We've got Wyatt Langford, we've got Marcus Semien, we got Jake Berger, we got Jock Peterson. Peterson was interesting to me because he does have Derby experience in 2019 and he did pretty good, but he's looked so bad this year. Unfortunately, I really like Peterson, so I don't think I can go with him, and I'm actually going to choose a controversial pick here. I'm going to choose Jake Berger. So he has a higher line drive percentage, he's got a higher hard hit rate, he's got a higher barrel rate, plus he's 6 years older than Langford. He's hit twice the amount of batting practice that he's had. As I said, I kind of like veterans, so I'm going to go Seager, Garcia, and Berger with the Rangers, even though I really like Langford. This is a solid group, not quite as much thump as you'd like, but I think it's very solid across the board, so I'm going to give them a solid classic C tier. And next up, we're going to go to the LA Angels, and this is actually low-key pretty good. So obviously you go with Mike Trout here. He's almost got 400 career home runs. Very, very easy choice for this competition. And then I'm going to go with Taylor Ward. This guy leads the team with 25 bombs this year. He's having a career year. He has really been swinging it well, so I think he would do great in this competition. And then they actually have another sneaky good power hitter in Joe Adele. I did consider Jorge Soler because he is pretty interesting. He's got a great swing, but I think I'm going to go with Adele. He's got more homers and he can get pretty hot. Adele's also hit some massive home runs this year. So that's my trio. Trout, Ward, and Adele. I think this is actually a pretty decent group. I wouldn't say that any of them are above average by any means, but this is a very solid, very C tier group. And we're going to wrap up the AL West with a stacked trio with the Seattle Mariners. I mean, come on. So first of all, you got the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. He leads the league with already 46 home runs, which is crazy. Like, if there was a baseball Space Jam and the Monstars had to steal the powers of like 5 MLB players for this competition, Raleigh would be one of those 5 guys. And on top of that, he's the reigning home run derby champion. Like, this is a easy pick. And then they just traded for Eugenio Suarez, who's 5th in baseball in home runs. So that is arguably the best 1-2 punch in this challenge. And then to top it off, we've got 2 awesome choices for the number 3 spot. You've got Julio Rodriguez and Randy Arozarena. Both of these guys have made it to the home run derby finals. Actually, in back-to-back years, they did that. So you really can't go wrong with this pick. I am going to go with Randy. Number 1, because he already has experience. He participated in the All-Star Game swing-off. But number 2, his hard hit rate is over 50%, so I kind of prefer him. He absolutely smokes the ball. He's another big moment performer, and he's got absolutely no pressure on him here with Cal and Suarez. So that's my trio. I'm going Raleigh, Suarez, and Arozarena. It does not get better than that. That is an S-tier trio. Okay, now we're going to swing it over to the AL Central, and we're going to start with the Detroit Tigers. This is such a fun team, and honestly, I'd say that this one is actually pretty open and shut. So pick number 1 is pretty easy. We're going to go with Riley Green. He is currently 9th in baseball with 28 home runs. Good for him. That is a no-brainer. I would love to see Riley Green in this competition. And then number 2 and number 3 are tied for me, but they're both in the competition easily. So we've got Spencer Torkelson and Kerry Carpenter. They are 2nd and 3rd on the team in home runs, so that's pretty easy. Torkelson's got a ton of power. He's been a super fun comeback story this year. And then Kerry Carpenter went bananas in the playoffs last year. If you remember that big one off Emmanuel Clase, I feel pretty good about this trio. It's Green, Carpenter, and Torque. That is pretty darn good. I think that's above average. I'm going to put them in the B tier. Next up, we're going to the Kansas City Royals, and there's not a ton of true home run thump in this lineup. So when that happens, I like to start with a star. So we're going to go with Bobby Witt Jr. with the number 1 pick. Only 15 home runs this year, but 30 in the past 2 seasons. So that's really good. He also did pretty good in the 2024 home run derby. So I feel good about Bobby Witt. And I don't mind their number 2 option either. I'm going to go with Salvador Perez. I really like veterans, and Sal's actually a pretty good power hitter still. He's hit over 20 home runs in his last 4 seasons. And just take a look at his StatCast page. This guy still hits the ball pretty darn hard. He's hit some big home runs in the World Series, so I feel very solid about Sal Perez. And then for the number 3 spot, they do have Vinny Pasquantino, but no disrespect to the Pasquatch, I'm going to go with Jack Caglione as my number 3. I know he's technically not with the big league team right now, but I'm going to treat it sort of like an injury and just wrap him into the team this year. Just look at some of these minor league numbers with this guy. I mean, he hasn't quite seen that success versus major league pitching yet, but batting practice is the exact same for minors and majors. I know he's really young, but this dude's swing is so cool. I mean, he's just got an awesome swing. So he's going to get the nod in my book. So we're going to go with Witt, Sal Perez, and Caglione. I'd say this is a very solid group. It's sort of between that C and B tier for me, but I'm going to keep them at C. I don't think they have a true dog that's truly like elevating them up to B, but this is a very solid group. Okay, next up, we're going to the Cleveland Guardians, and unfortunately, this is not a great group. I mean, obviously, we're going to go with Jose Ramirez. Can you believe he hit 39 home runs last year? I love Jose Ramirez, so that is really cool. But the other options after Ramirez really thin out. I think Kyle Manzardo has to be the second choice. He's probably the only other real power guy in the lineup. 21 home runs this year, so I guess that's fine. And then if I had the power to call up a guy just for this, I would call up Big Christmas for obvious reasons. I mean, this guy's probably not a good hitter at all, but man, he's hit some huge home runs. I know I technically just called up Caglione back from the minors, but Caglione feels like more of an established part of the major league team, whereas Big Christmas sort of feels like he's getting tossed aside, so I'm not going to count him. No Christmas miracle, so then I'm going to go with the next best option, and I think that's Carlos Santana. Sturdy veteran guy. He's got 335 career home runs. That's pretty darn good. Bo Naylor is also an option, but I'm kind of just going to go with experience here and go with Santana. He did participate in the home run derby in 2019, so he's got that going for him. So there's a trio. It's Ramirez, Manzardo, and Santana. Ugh, I do not feel great about this group, so I'm going to have to drop them into the D tier. All right, next up, we're going to the Chicago White Sox, and let's play a game here. Other than Luis Robert, who is in the starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox? Just pause the video here. I'm going to bet that you can't think of more than 2 guys. Okay, ready? Okay, here it is. How many of these did you get? Did you have Lennon Sosa? Did you know that Mike Tauchman exists? So yeah, there's just not a lot of great options on this White Sox lineup, even though they have been better than last year. I will give them credit for that. A lot of fun young guys on this team, but unfortunately just not a lot of home run hitters. So Robert is somehow still here after the trade deadline, and we've got to go with him. He had 38 home runs 2 years ago. He also did participate in the 2023 home run derby. He hit 50 homers in that one. So, okay, Robert's not a bad option, but it really thins out after that. I mean, Miguel Vargas leads the team. He sort of hit decently for power in the minor league, so I guess Miguel Vargas. And then maybe Kyle Teal. I don't know. He's got some pop, but he's not exactly a home run guy. I mean, maybe you just kind of choose Benintendi because he's more of a veteran guy. 20 home runs last year. Man, not a lot of good options. I'm probably going to go with Benintendi. So we're going to go Robert, Vargas, and Benintendi. I mean, that is rough shape. Vargas is a solid hitter, but I just don't think they're very built for this competition. So this is an F tier group. And to wrap up the AL Central, we're going to go with a bunch of guys who happen to be wearing a Minnesota Twins uniform. Twins fans, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. Not a lot of options left post deadline. Now, with that being said, I do think they have 3 competent home run hitters on this team, so we do have a little bit of something to work with here. We're going to start with number 1 pick, Byron Buxton. This guy participated in the home run derby. He's still a great power hitter, so I feel good about Buxton in this competition. With the second spot, I'm going to go with Matt Wallner. He's got 16 home runs this year, tied for second place. He's got a 481 slug. He's also only played in 77 games, so I just think this guy has really solid pop, very underrated pop. And then we've got a few options for the final spot. Obviously, Royce Lewis comes to mind. You've got Trevor Larnach, who is a very established power hitter. Cody Clemens has had some big home runs. Luke Keeschel is a very interesting young player for them, but I think you got to go with the safe thing. I think we got to go for Trevor Larnach. Again, he is tied for second place with 16 home runs, 410 slug. Not a super great option, but he's probably one of your best 3 power hitters right now. So there's the trio. It's Buxton, Wallner, and Larnach. Really not bad considering how bad their fire sale was. This is somewhere between D and C. I'm probably going to keep them in D just because Wallner and Larnach aren't exactly true power guys. So I think this is a below average group. I'm going to go D, but it's not as bad as I was expecting for the Twins, honestly. And we're going to wrap up the AL with the AL East, and we're going to start with the New York Yankees. And Yankees fans, I know it's been a rough month for you, but good news, you have an awesome trio. So first of all, you've got Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Okay, Aaron Judge is arguably the best power hitter in baseball right now. I mean, I don't even need to say anything else about Aaron Judge. He's Aaron Judge. He's a no-brainer. And then you've got the Big G, who's hit some absolute lasers this year. Stanton is also a home run derby champion, so those two are a crazy duo. They actually both won home run derbies in back-to-back seasons, so they're right up there with Raleigh and Suarez in terms of elite duos. And after that, you've got a ton of interesting options at the number 3 spot. Obviously got Jazz Chisholm, you got Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, Ryan McMahon, Ben Rice is in the mix. You maybe even put Trent Grisham in the mix. So first of all, I think unfortunately we're going to need to disqualify Jazz Chisholm because unfortunately he's stunk it up at the Derby this year. I think Grisham is a fun choice, but I think that's getting a little too cute. Same with McMahon and Rice. In my opinion, Cody Bellinger is the choice, okay? He's got home run derby experience. He did pretty good in that competition. He's also hit 47 home runs in a single season, which is wild. So I feel really good about Cody Bellinger. And wow, do I feel great about this group. I mean, you've got Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Cody Bellinger. And if you could imagine a swing off at Yankee Stadium, I think that is electric. This is as good as it gets. This is absolutely an S tier trio. Next up, we're going to swing it over to the Baltimore Orioles, and this is not really a huge power team. I mean, obviously you got to go with Gunnar Henderson, their best player. He hit 37 bombs last year, so he's an easy choice for me. With the second pick, I think we got to go with Tyler O'Neill. I know he's having a bit of a down year. This guy hit 31 home runs just last year. He's also like the main veteran guy left in the lineup, so we got to go Tyler O'Neill. You do have some other interesting young guys here, but they're just sort of okay in terms of power. I mean, Westberg, Holiday, Adley Rutschman, Colton Cowser. But good news, Orioles fans, you do not have to settle. You just called up arguably the best power hitter in the minor leagues, and that's Samuel Basallo. This guy hits some absolute tanks, some 500-foot home runs, so he's going to do wonders for your chances here. So he's going to crack my trio. It's Gunnar, O'Neill, and Basallo. This is a very fun group. No real premium guys, but definitely some solid upside here. So I'm going to go C tier with the O's. Next up, we're going to go to the Toronto Blue Jays, and I kind of like this group. So we're starting out with a home run derby champ in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That is a huge win. He's probably one of the top 10 in baseball for this event, if not top 5. So it's really, really good to have a true anchor like that. And then after that, you've got a lot of good options to pick from. You got George Springer, Addison Barger, Dalton Varsho, Bo Bichette. If Santander was healthy, he'd be in the mix. But I'm going to go with George Springer as my number 2. This guy has 12 years in the league, and he has never hit less than 14 14 homers in a year. He's already at 18 home runs this year. He's a veteran. He's known to be clutch. So I think we have to go with Springer here. And then I'm going to go with the young guy. I'm going to go with Addison Barger. This guy has a crazy StatCast profile. He hits the ball really, really hard. He's had some monster bombs. I kind of worry about Barger. I'm kind of getting a little bit of immature vibes from him, but he's definitely got the raw power on the team outside of Vladdy. So I feel pretty darn good about this trio: Vladdy, Springer, and Barger. I've got them between an A or a B tier, but because they have Vladdy, I'm going to bump them up to A. I think this is a very, very good group. Next up is the Tampa Bay Rays, and they have one of my favorite swings in all of baseball. It's Yandy Diaz. I cannot tell you how much I want to see this guy in a swing off. He has elite exit velo. I mean, this guy hits laser after laser, so he is such an easy choice for me. And then they've also got one of the brightest up-and-coming stars in baseball in Junior Caminero. He's already at 35 home runs this year, which is crazy. He is such a stud. He had that huge home run in the Dominican Winter League Championship, so this dude is meant for the swing off. He's also the Home Run Derby runner-up this year. I mean, he is super duper qualified. And then the last spot is kind of tough. So we saw Aranda didn't quite have it in the tank in the actual swing off this year, even though I love Aranda. I think your other two good options are Brandon Lau and Christopher Morel. Morel can definitely hit the ball hard, but he just has horrible chase numbers. But because this is just batting practice, I think I'm going to go Morel. There's no way you can strike out in this competition. So I'm going with Yandy Diaz, Junior Caminero, and Christopher Morel. This is a sneaky good trio. Probably not quite in that upper tier yet, but this is definitely a very, very good B tier trio. And we're going to wrap up the AL with the Boston Red Sox. And I mean, they would have had a very easy number one pick if he wasn't traded earlier in the season. I won't even utter his name, Red Sox fans. So I guess Alex Bregman is now your first choice. He's participated in 2 derbies up to this point. He did solid in both. He's consistently hitting 20 home runs every single year. He's a known big time performer, so I feel solid about Alex Bregman. Then for number 2, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to go with their team leader in home runs in Wilyer Abreu. I think he is super underrated. He has awesome power numbers. As I mentioned, he leads the team in home runs, so I feel very good about Wilyer Abreu at number 2. And then number 3, it gets a little bit interesting. I know Trevor Story has some home run derby experience. Gonzalez has some pop. Jaron Duran's another guy. I'm going to go with upside here. I'm going to go with Roman Anthony. I know he's really struggled in his rookie year, but look at this StatCast profile. That is ridiculous. And he also did really, really good in the 2024 Young Player Showcase. So I just love his power swing. I would love that upside, especially with Abreu and Bregman. I don't know. This trio is kind of boom or bust, but it's really not bad. I think it's somewhere between that C or B tier. I think C is fair just because we haven't really seen Roman Anthony yet. But if Anthony truly breaks out, I think this definitely has B tier or even A tier potential. So that does it for the AL. Now we're going to swing it over to the National League, and we're going to start out west with the San Diego Padres. And they have a pretty easy number 1 pick, and that is Manny Machado. Love him or hate him, this guy has 362 career home runs so far. He's only 33 years old, and he's number 4 of all active MLB players. So he has got to be in the competition. He is an easy pick. And with the number 2 spot, we've also got to go with their other superstar, and that is Fernando Tatis Jr. He has slightly less pop since returning from his suspension, but he's still a really good power hitter. Obviously loves to be in the spotlight, so I feel great about Tatis in there. And yeah, definitely some interesting options with the 3rd spot. Obviously, Jackson Merrill's a great young player. Ryan O'Hearn has a lot of pop. Xander Bogaerts is solid. But I'm going to get weird here. I'm going to go with Derry Bonds. I'm going to go with Gavin Sheets. This guy is such an underrated contributor for the team. He has such great thump from that left side. He is 3rd on the team in home runs. So yeah, no disrespect to Merrill or O'Hearn, but I'm going to go with Gavin Sheets for the 3rd spot. So that leaves us with Machado, Tatis, and Sheets. This is really good. Nobody is elite in that trio, but that is really good. So I'm going to put them in the A tier. Next up is the Arizona Diamondbacks, and unfortunately they traded their huge power bat in Suarez, so that definitely hurts them here. They still have a very solid lineup, just not a ton of true power guys. So when that happens, you just sort of go to their stars, and that means we're going with Corbin Carroll. And actually check this out. He has over 20 home runs in the last 3 seasons. He's got a .548 slug this year. He's not perfect for the competition, but he's a guy who could hit 1 or 2 home runs in his 3 swings for sure. And then number 2, you've got to go Ketel Marte. He's already got 23 home runs this year. His StatCast profile is bright red across the board. He was so good in their playoff run 2 years ago. So you feel pretty good about putting Ketel in this competition. And then, yeah, with the number 3 spot, I think you got to go with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He just hit the fastest pitch ever for a home run, that Mason Miller fastball, just a few weeks ago. He's also giving a little bit of crazy vibes, which I think is helpful, and he would definitely be entertaining in this competition. So there you go. There's your trio. You've got Carroll, Marte, and Gurriel. This is not like a great trio, but I've seen a lot worse. I think it's very, solid, average, run-of-the-mill. So I'm going to put the D-backs in the C tier. Next up, we've got the SF Giants, and they've got a very easy first pick. We've got Devers. Yes, sir. One of my favorite power swings in baseball. He's 98th percentile on exit velocity. This dude is just built for this competition. After Devers, it gets a little trickier, but I'm probably going to go with Willy Adames. I know he's not quite been as good with the Giants, but he hit 32 home runs last year. He leads the team with 19 home runs, so I feel pretty good about Adames in that spot. And then after that, I think you've probably only got two choices. You're kind of going between Matt Chapman and Helio Ramos. I feel fine about both of them, but I'm probably going to lean towards Chapman. He's a little bit more established. He actually still hits the ball really darn hard. I like veterans in this competition. So yeah, I'm going to personally lean towards Chapman, but I would understand if you would go with Ramos. So my trio is Devers, Adames, and Chapman. This is very solid, and because they have Devers, we've got to bump them up. I'm going to say this is a B tier group. That is three trusty veterans. Next up, we're going to the Colorado Rockies, and yeah, this is pretty meh. I mean, their roster is definitely lacking, but they do play at Coors Field, so pretty much anybody would have a decent chance there. And I do kind of like their number one option. So Hunter Goodman is a very underrated catcher in baseball. He has 22 home runs so far this year. He's got a 514 slug, so this guy's actually just like a solid, good hitter. After Goodman, you've got a few other guys who hit for power. You've got Moniak, you've got Jordan Beck. Ezekiel Tovar is an interesting player. I'm probably going to go with Mickey Moniak for the number 2 slot. He's had less games than the other guys, and he's having a career year, so I'm fine with Moniak in the second spot. And then number 3, I'm going with a wild card. I'm going with Warming Bernabel. Great name, first of all. Elite baseball name. This kid just got called up in July, and he is absolutely raked. He's not a great power guy, but he is red hot, and I think he's probably your best option. So that's your trio. It's Goodman, Moniak, and Warming Bernabel. This is not great, but it's a little something. I mean, especially if it's at Coors Field. So I'm going to go ahead and put them into the D tier. And to wrap up the NL West, we're going to go to the LA Dodgers, and we've got a really easy choice here. We've got Shohei Ohtani. Right now, he is tied for the second most home runs in baseball with 43, which apparently is pretty good. I mean, he is up there in that top 5, like Monstars, must choose for this competition. So you feel pretty good about Ohtani. With number 2, I know he's not having as much power as last year, but Freddie Freeman has to be in this competition. My gosh, this guy's hit some huge clutch home runs. He's got some home run derby experience. He's a known clutch swinger, so we have to go with Freddie Freeman. And then there's a solid group of third options. I mean, Will Smith is awesome. Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez. Andy Pages somehow has 19 home runs this year, but we've got to go with Teoscar Hernandez. He's the 2024 home run derby champ. I mean, come on. He wasn't super dominant in that competition, but that means a lot to me. He's basically guaranteed to hit at least one homer. And again, no pressure on him with Shohei and Freddie. So, man, this is a really good trio. Ohtani, Freddie, and Teoscar. I mean, this has to be an S tier group. I think they're right up there with the Mariners and the Yankees. Okay, now we're going to the Central, and we're going to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And great news, Pirates fans, you've got the number 1 guy for exit velocity in baseball in O'Neal Cruz. I mean, talk about a great guy for this competition. He had an awesome home run derby this year. Would love to see O'Neal Cruz in a swing off. But unfortunately, after that, it gets really sad, really fast, and that kind of sums up the Pirates this year overall. I think by default, the only other 2 homer-ish guys on this team are Andrew McCutchen and Brian Reynolds. I don't really love either of those options, but that's pretty much all you've got. McCutchen actually did participate in the 2012 home run derby. I know that's like ancient history by now, but that's something. And those are technically 2 of your highest paid players. So yeah, I think that's your trio. It's O'Neal Cruz, Andrew McCutchen, and Brian Reynolds. I really do not like this. I think Cruz keeps them solidly in D tier, keeps them out of that F tier. But yeah, I do not feel great about this trio. Next up, we've got the red hot Milwaukee Brewers. What a wild year they've had. This is a real slap happy lineup, a little bit more of a small ball, old school team, but they do have a little power here. An easy number 1 pick is Christian Yelich. He hit 44 home runs in a single season. season. He has over 200 career home runs. He's up to 25 this year, so I feel great about Yelich. And then there's 3 really good options after him. You've got Rhys Hoskins, Jackson Chourio, and Andrew Vaughn. I'm going to go with Rhys Hoskins as my number 2. He's got home run derby experience. He only lost to Kyle Schwarber in that competition, so no fault of his own there. Only 12 home runs this year, but he had 26 last year. His underlying metrics still look pretty good. He's obviously had some huge home runs in his career, so I feel pretty good about Rhys Hoskins at 2. And then we've got an interesting conversation between Jackson Chourio and Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn has totally turned things around with the Brewers. He's also been red hot lately, already 9 home runs so far with the Brewers. Meanwhile, Jackson Chourio's got a little bit more of that star power, kind of a sneaky amount of power. 21 home runs last year, 17 this year. He's got a 474 slug. So you really can't go wrong with either of these guys. I think I'm going to lean towards Chourio just because he's a little bit more established. But man, I am right on the fence between him and Vaughn. So it's Yelich, Hoskins, and Chourio, which is pretty darn good. This is somewhere in that B to A tier. I'm going to stay a little stingy. I'm going to keep them in B because they don't quite have like a superstar power hitter in that lineup. But that is a very solid group. Next, we're going to go to the St. Louis Cardinals. And there are a lot of guys that sort of blend in on this team. Nobody really great for this competition. I think you probably go Wilson Contreras for your number 1 pick. He's an OG at this point. He leads the team in home runs. He's a guy that generally likes to be in the mix in big moments, so I think you've got to go with Contreras. And man, some other sort of okay options. Arenado, Nootbaar, Burleson, Donovan, Walker, Herrera. I think you kind of got to go with the hot hand out of this group. I would love to do Nolan Arenado, but his underlying stats do not look great. One of my favorite players of his generation, but don't think I can go with him. So then it's pretty much personal preference at this point. Me personally, I'm probably going to choose Lars Nootbaar as my second pick. He's not a crazy power guy, but if we look at his StatCast page, it looks really, really good. He's also a guy with big righty-lefty splits, so if you just put the correct arm out there throwing the batting practice to you, I think he would do even better. So Nootbaar at number 2, and then for number 3, I'm going a little crazy. I'm going with upside and Jordan Walker. I mean, this guy's power is through the roof. He has an incredible swing. The guy really can't hit yet, and I don't know if he ever will, but wow, does he have incredible pop. In this particular format, I think that would really shine. So yeah, that's my trio. It's Contreras, Nootbaar, and Walker. They're probably not going to win, but it's at least an interesting trio. I feel okay about them. I'm going to put them solidly in the C tier. Okay, next we're going to the Cincinnati Reds, and you have a very easy first pick here in Elly De La Cruz. Leads the team with 19 home runs. I mean, this guy is just a straight up superstar. I would love to see Elly do this. But after that, there's not a ton of easy choices. Austin Hayes is kind of injured a lot, but when he's healthy, he's been very good. He's another guy with platoon splits, so I feel okay about him. Spencer Steer is a little bit more of an obvious choice, so okay, I guess we'll go with Steer. He's second on the team in home runs. He's going for his 3rd straight season with 20 home runs. I think that's a fine choice. Marte is an interesting choice. Tyler Stevenson, I like him. I think I'm actually going to go with Marte here. He doesn't have a ton of at-bats, but he's already up to 8 home runs. He's got a 497 slug. Feels like he's been a little bit hotter lately. That's a tough choice. You could really go either way. I'm going to put Marte in there though. So the trio is Elly, Steer, and Marte. This is a fine group. Elly is really awesome. The other two are just sort of okay. So I'm kind of between that C and D tier. I'm going to bump them up to C. I think this is a solid group, especially with Elly in there. I think he really raises the ceiling of this group. And then wrapping up the NL Central, we're going to go to the Cubs, and this is a team that is overflowing with great power hitters. So first of all, you've got to have a spot for Kyle Tucker. You just absolutely have to. I know technically Michael Busch has a higher slug, but I mean, come on, this is Kyle Tucker. He's probably going to get $500 million this offseason, so he absolutely has to have a spot. And then I think you've got to go Seiya Suzuki. Tied for the team league with 27 home runs. He's just got a swing that is tailor-made for this competition. And then you've got some really great options. You got Michael Busch, who I mentioned. He's got 24 home runs. Dansby Swanson has 18. Ian Happ has 16. But I don't think we need to overthink this. We've got to go with Pete Crow Armstrong. He's tied for the team league with 27 home runs, which is insane. He just seems like a big-time player. I think you've got to go with PCA. And wow, is this an excellent trio. Tucker, Suzuki, and PCA. They are right between A and S tier, but the thing that holds back the Cubs is they don't have like a premier shutdown anchor. Like they don't have Ohtani, they don't have Judge, they don't have Raleigh. Tucker is awesome, but he doesn't quite have that elite upside. So I'm going to put them in A tier, but they are very close to that S tier. Okay, and to wrap up this list, we're going to go to the NL East, and we're going to start with the Atlanta Braves, and this one is actually so so easy. I don't think you could dispute it. The only thing to really discuss is the order that they bat. So first of all, Matt Olson has to be in this trio. He is a huge power threat, participated in the home run derby this year. That's an easy pick. And another very easy pick is Ronald Acuna Jr. He was originally supposed to be in the home run derby, but then pulled out. He was injured. But man, this guy rakes. He's hit so many home runs. He is just an electric hitter. So those two are very easy. For the third spot, I really like Austin Riley. He is an awesome hitter. He would be a number one option for some other teams on this list, but I think he's got to get bumped out of this trio by Marcell Ozuna. While he's still around, he is a very, very good power hitter, and this is a formidable trio for the Braves. I mean, Olson, Acuna, and Ozuna, that is pretty much as good as anybody. Man, they are right there neck and neck with the Cubs. I just think when it comes to home runs, I would take all three of those guys above all three of the Cubs guys, even though they're all very, very close. So I'm going to bump the Braves into S tier. Okay, next up we're going to the Washington Nationals, and this group absolutely starts with one of the best young stars in the game, and it's James Wood. 25 home runs already this year. This kid is just 22 years old, which is insane. I absolutely love his swing. And the Nats actually have a solid number 2 as well. They've got Josh Bell, who has done a home run derby before. He's a solid veteran presence. He's got another great power swing, so I feel very solid about him in this competition. I was going to go with Nathaniel Lowe, but he was just DFA'd by the team. So I think the only other plausible option left is CJ Abrams. He is tied for second on the team with 16 home runs. I think he's a pretty natural choice. He has a nice swing. I wouldn't say he's a traditional power guy, but he's a solid choice for this competition. So there's your trio. You've got Wood, Bell, and Abrams. This is not bad. It's a pretty average group, so I am going to put them in the C tier, but this is pretty solid. Next up, we're going to the Miami Marlins, and this is a sneaky good lineup. Sneaky good. To kick things off, we've got to go with Kyle Stowers. He actually participated in the swing-off, so he's got that valuable experience. 25 home runs this year, which is awesome. A 544 slug. Just a really, really good hitter. After that, I think I'm going to go with Augustin Ramirez, their rookie catcher. He has hit some monster home runs. He's a really fun player to watch. Second on the team in home runs with 17, so I think he's a pretty easy second choice. And then, unfortunately, they traded Jesus Sanchez, who would be my third pick. After that, they don't have a lot of great options, so we're going to go crazy here. We're going to go with Heriberto Hernandez. 7 home runs in only 49 games. Solid prospect for them. Great name. And there's just not a lot of great options outside of Heriberto, so he is going to crack the trio. It's Stowers, Ramirez, and Hernandez. Kind of an interesting, weird trio. I mean, this is probably D tier, but this is a frisky D tier. I'd be very interested to see how these three would do. All right, only 2 teams left, and they are both really, really good. And we're going to start with the New York Mets. And wow, is this team absolutely stacked. So of course you start with Pete Alonso. This guy is a 2-time home run derby champion, a 5-time home run derby participant. So he's maybe the most qualified guy in baseball for the swing off. He's got 28 home runs. He is the Mets' all-time leader in home runs. He absolutely has to be in this. And then number 2 is also very easy. You go Juan Soto, who's got 30 home runs this year. I mean, you're paying this guy almost $800 million. He's got to be in it. He had 41 home runs last year. That is an elite 1-2 duo. And then number 3, I think you don't go too cute here. I think you just go with the easy choice, and that is Francisco Lindor. He is third on the team with 24 home runs. Yeah, I think you go with your 3 biggest stars in this competition, and wow, is this a great trio. Alonso, Soto, and Lindor. And to me, the Mets are an easy S tier. So first of all, Alonso's won 2 derbies, Soto's won a derby, and then Lindor is very good by himself. So this is another S tier trio for me, one of the very best in baseball. And to wrap things up, we're going to go over to the Mets' rivals, and that is the Philadelphia Phillies. And anchoring this trio is Mr. Swing-Off himself, Kyle Schwarber. This guy hit 3 home runs on 3 swings to win the All-Star game this year. That was an awesome moment. Schwarber is tied for second in baseball with 43 home runs. So he is such an easy choice here. One of the very best guys in baseball for this competition. And then number 2 is also very easy. It's Bryce Harper. Only 19 home runs this year, but I mean, he's already got 355 home runs in his career. That is 6th among active players. Also won a home run derby back when he was with the Nationals. So that is an easy number 2 choice. And then it's a little tricky with the third spot. So you got Trey Turner, who is awesome, but the power numbers are down a little bit. You've got guys like Alec Boehm and Brandon Marsh, Marsh, very solid players, but I think you got to go with Nick Castellanos. He is third on the team in home runs. He is a consistent home run threat. He's a little streaky, but we know he's hit some big home runs. He does not mind hitting a home run in an inopportune situation, so I think you got to go with Castellanos here. So it is Schwarber, Harper, and Castellanos. I think this has got to go S tier as well. It's a little bit tougher than the Mets, but I mean, you've got Kyle Schwarber, who is maybe the number one pick for this competition. It's close, but he's right up there. You've got Harper, who is elite himself, won a home run derby, and then a very solid bat in Castellanos. So there you go. There's the official list. This was really fun to put together. Kind of interesting to see. A lot of great teams up at the top and a lot of the not so great teams at the bottom. So I wonder if there's something to that. Anyway, let me know what you thought about this list. Would you have anybody swapped in? Would you rank them differently? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.